"You are grounded for a week, Kayla," my dad said. "We have a rule in my house that you cannot come into the bathroom without knocking or saying it out loud." And usually I mostly follow that rule, but this time I was in a rush to get to school. Then I thought to myself, this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. When I came in running, my dad was shaving, and I was so afraid that he was going to throw the shaver at me, so I quickly ran out of the bathroom, though I did know that I was grounded for a week. Once my dad was done, I came in and quickly brushed my teeth, floss, wash my face, and gurgle my mouthwash. Then take a shower. I tried super fast eat my breakfast, but my mom told me to sit and eat it properly. My gosh, I hated this rule. I got in the car and put on my favorite song, but my dad said whenever you're in his car, you have to listen to his music. Once I left home, I got to school. My job was to always record the meeting attendance and lunch count. And that was the rule. Whenever you didn't do your job, you would get a warning, and if you messed it up or you forgot to do your job again, you would get fired. So I did the attendance even though I just wanted to do my blog post. But I had to do it, and I really, really didn't like this rule. I thought to myself, and it was that this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. Once I finished the attendance at school and the lunch count, we had to do math. So I would have been excited, but we have a rule that applies for children and adults that you can't leave unless you need to go to the bathroom or if it's an emergency. I really didn't like that rule because my mom usually says if I get off task so you can see why I didn't like that, because I get off task. And so you can see why I really didn't like that. So I said to myself, this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. It was time for passion time, and I was doing my video. And I don't like to be responsible to have put in my charger for passion time to charge it. I mean, why can't the laptop cartmars put it in? I didn't like that rule. I just wanted to be responsible for that computer stuff. Then I said to myself, this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. Once it was time to pack up, we had this rule in our classroom that we had to stack our chairs once we're done packing. I really didn't like that rule because sometimes I get in a huge rush. I have to go to soccer practice, so whenever I forget my chair, I have to come back and stack my chairs. I end up being late for soccer practice. Then I thought to myself, and it was that this is going to be a very bad, stinking day. Once I got home, I always have to leave the key at the door. I did not like that rule because my mom would always complain, always, for where is the key to unlock the door. And I always forget to leave the key at the door so my mom can get in when I'm coming home from school. I didn't like that rule at all. Then I said to myself that this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. Once it was time to do my homework, my mom has a rule that we have to respect people's stuff. Of course, I don't follow that rule because I would touch my brother's phone and his computer and his football characters. I use his bathroom sometimes. I didn't like that rule because I love his stuff. When it was time for dinner, my mom has a rule that we have to eat healthy food at the table. And I didn't like that rule because I love sweet treats and ice cream. But tonight, my mom said salmon, quinoa, and salad. I told her that I didn't like it. But she never listens. I don't like that rule. I knew that this was going to be a very bad, stinky day. Once I got to bed, I fell asleep and hoping that I could live in a world that there was no rules or laws at all in the world, or at school, or at home. Because I am not a big fan of rules and laws. I just want everybody to just feel like me. I think that rules and laws are overrated. I hope that tomorrow there will be no rules or laws tomorrow at all. Knowing that we should not have rules or laws in this world, I really, really hoped. Once it was morning, I got from my soccer printed bed and headed to the family bathroom to go and get ready. Once I got into the family bathroom, I closed the door behind me, then I took out my purple toothbrush and put it on the counter so I can wash my hands. Then, out of nowhere, my dad came in without even knocking on the door, and he knocked my toothbrush into the toilet. I was speechless. Because my dad is usually the warden when it comes to privacy in the bathroom. And he just comes right in without even looking at all. And I was furious because usually my dad would ground me for a week. But instead he just came right in and started brushing his teeth. Then I couldn't take it anymore. I pushed him out because he was invading my privacy. And I told him that if he wants to come in, he has to knock first and see who is there. And if someone's there, you can't come in until they're ready. He didn't even say sorry or do anything at all. Then 5 minutes later, he comes back and he just decides to wash his face face, and I was super mad because I just gave him a whole lecture about privacy. And I thought in my head, this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. I quickly pushed him out the door, and he knocked my toothbrush into the toilet again. I knew that my dad would never do this. I was super mad. I just wanted to scream at him for invading my privacy already twice. After my flip out with my dad in the bathroom, everything else was smooth sailing. My dad then drove me to school, and it was my turn to do the attendance and lunch count. I told Mr. Saws that I really didn't want to do it, and I was expecting for the same smirk that he would have to do it. And I really started walking away, and then he heard, "Sure," said Mr. Saws. "What?" I said. "You don't have to do your job. In fact, no one has to do their job. Everybody can decide for themselves and have no responsibilities and jobs. Also, Ryan doesn't have to help you." I started laughing, thinking it was some kind of silly joke. But as I kept on laughing, and Mr. Sloss was staring at me like I was some kind of lunatic laughing at nothing, I started to smile, realizing that we don't have to do our jobs. I jumped in surprise/happiness at the fact that we don't have to do jobs. I then came down to lunch, and I had hot lunch. But I didn't get any because no one sent it down the attendance and the lunch count. So I didn't get any lunch. I got so mad that Mr. Solis told me not to do our jobs and we don't get any benefit. I thought that this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. It was time for math, and I was expecting for my brother to be saying the whole time for the curriculum snapshot. And this was a rule that people have to say the whole time till Mr. Solis says that math is over. So then my brother came, sat down, and started diddling on his phone. I know, kids might be upset that they're not paying attention. But I was actually kind of happy because it was my turn to hang out with my friends and not having him to bring me down with all of his friendly advice. But we usually end at 2:15. But my brother said that he needed to go to the bathroom, and he never came back. And it was only 1:55. I was furious, and I was kind of feeling left out, seeing that I'm the only one without any adult. And it was a rule in the classroom that adults would leave at 2:15 unless there was some sort of emergency or something. I thought to myself that he got bonked on the head or something because usually he follows the rules and he's a goody-goody. And the last time that he got in trouble was when he was 18. And now he's 22. I shook off the disappointment and smiled, started to go back and play the math games with my friends. But in my head, I knew that something was wrong. And then said that this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. It was time for Passion Time, and that I just finished making my screencast for my website. And I'm ahead. I was so proud of myself that I'm almost done with my round 2 Passion Time project. I knew that I was ahead, and I was proud of myself for always putting first things first. But just before I went to press upload with my mouse, bam, my computer died. My face was in horror as if I just saw a dog getting hit by a car. The people who were supposed to charge the computer after they are done with it has to put in the charger. So I ran to Mr. Saws telling him how someone didn't follow the rule and that my computer died and my video is lost and how I put in a lot of hard work into that video details and everything. But when I saw Mr. Saws' face, I knew that something was wrong. He looked at me so confused. And I never seen him like that. He told me that people don't have to follow that rule anymore. People can decide if they want to do it or not. I told him that it wasn't true, and I ran through the halls trying to find Miss Sullivan's classroom, by the way, which has the cart before us. And I asked her about her students and how they have to follow the rule about putting the plug back in and the charger. But she gave me that same confused look as Mr. Solar's expression. Knew that this is going to be a very bad, stinky day. Mrs. Sullivan, you have to teach your kids about the importance about charging the computer so people won't have problems like I did, I said. My computer died when I was just about to upload a video, I said. She just stared at me as I was going nuts, so I just forgot and I ran back to my classroom and went to my desktop and did it all over again. But this time, it was half of what I made last time. And my old video was 12 minutes and 2 seconds. But who's counting? Well, I am. It was time for us to pack up and go home. But I was so not happy because everybody wasn't following the rule that sucked a lot. Usually, I would strongly dislike it, and Mr. Sly would always remind me to stack my chair. But he doesn't remind the people at my table. And they usually get away with it too. And he makes me to stack them, so before he could say anything, I quickly did it, feeling good about myself, thinking how clever I am. Then 3 people at my table forgot to stack their chairs. And Mr. Soares saw me, and then I started stacking the first one. But then my friend Hannah stopped me and told me that you don't have to stack your chair because it's not a rule. She went on and on about how great it is to not stack our chair. And I got so happy. I started jumping, and I realized that we get points for evaluate. And we depend on stacking chairs. So before we went to art, I quickly stacked my chairs, so we won't lose any points during evaluate. But I didn't care what Hannah said. As a saying, what is right, even if no one's doing it. What is wrong, even if everyone's doing it. Written by Anonymous. I felt that I did something without people telling me what to do. I felt good that I did something without people telling me what to do. Sorry. I smiled at myself, feeling so proud. I walked home from school and my mom forgot to leave the key at the door, which was a rule at our house. I was furious. I couldn't believe that she forgot because she was the one who enforced the rule. After 20 minutes passed, she came back giggling, but I was mad because she was laughing and I thought that she would apologize. But when I asked her, she just started laughing and she unlocked the door and went straight to my homework. I just decided to forgive her. Once it was time to do my homework, I really needed to go to the bathroom due to the 20 minutes delay. Once I came back from the bathroom, I looked at the counter, which where I put in my homework. I told my mom what happened, and she just smiled and said, "In the recycling bin." I gave her a weird look and took it out. I couldn't believe that she would go in my boundaries. "This is a very bad, stinky day," I said. It was time for dinner, and I didn't smell anything cooking. So I went into the kitchen and found out that they were eating ice cream. I asked my mom what was going on due to the fact that she was eating it too. He said that you can eat anything I want, so I quickly gobbled down my chocolate ice cream. And after an hour, I got a huge tummy ache. At night, it was growling. So then at night, I sat up thinking how important rules and laws were so important. Like ice cream and my schoolwork, I was way behind. Now I learned that people made rules and laws in this world to show discipline and to learn new things. Once I woke up the next morning, I went to the bathroom and my dad wasn't there and he said, "You're grounded for a week." I was so glad. My dad was there and he said that I was grounded for a week. I was so glad that it was all a dream. Thank you for listening to my State of Nature story video. My name is Kayla who's reading you, so thank you for watching. Bye.